Is it necessary for an actor to be on social?
So right now, all my contracts with all the OTT platforms, I have things releasing with. I have something with Amazon, something with Hotstar. Contractually, they say these are the number of posts that you have
Obligated to do.
obligated to do.
And congratulations, you're the first actress from
Yes,
our industry
thank
to
you.
get that. Ironman.
I'm currently shooting for a film with Sunny Deol. There used to be a lot of waiting, so I had carried my cycle and my cycle trainer, so you can attach the cycle. And I used to be in the van just cycling for my Ironman. So that's how I used to train.
I can receive a lot of flack for this, but Eden Gardens over Wankhede.
But the culture of Wankhede now is that there are only VIP passes, and there are like clubs get reserved passes and things like that. So for the World Cup, actual fans did not get tickets. They asked me for 1,80,000 rupees for a North Stand ticket.
What are you saying?
So I said that
2011.
2011.
You spent 1.8 lakhs in 2011 to watch Masters last match.
Who's the IPL final gonna be?
I really don't want to see MI and CSK. So you're watching Boxing
Brisbane
Day?
and Boxing Day. So Brisbane and Melbourne.
Very nice.
Very excited for it.
You've watched a Boxing Day before?
I've never gone for Boxing Day, so it's been a tick mark. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. I didn't watch the great Sachin.
But you watched a Boxing Day earlier or no? This is the first time you're going to be watching?
First time.
Okay.
First time I'm watching a Boxing Day game. I went last year for the Australian Open. So uske pehle I was hoping somebody will be playing, but nothing.
Okay.
But let's see how it goes.
What are your predictions for the
At least 3-1.
second tomorrow?
At least 3-1.
For tomorrow's game, do you see any
Tomorrow they're
changes?
saying it might rain in Adelaide.
But there'll be a reserve day for sure.
I don't know. They're saying there's predicted rain for 3 days maybe.
Starting
Now,
tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the weather seems okay, but आजकल test matches 2-2.5 दिन में तो खत्म हो जाते हैं तो.
I mean,
I
luckily
feel-
for us, it happened. The first match we won very convincingly. Thankfully, the second innings played on really well, but first innings was.
You know those some scars that most Indian fans want to forget, like the pink ball test and
Of
what
course,
happened, the
of
36
course,
all out.
of course.
So I feel that it's this is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
But advantage India, no Josh Hazelwood. He's injured.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But even then, the bowling lineup of Australia at this point is.
I mean, without Hazelwood, I feel it's a big minus for them. Yeah.
Who do you fancy at this point? Ki yaar, who is India, like who are Indian batters mostly scared of in terms of
That mid-Stark spell in the last game was beautiful, like beautiful. That once morning spell that mid-Stark had, it was just like the good old McGrath times, you know, that off stump, fourth off stump. He was beautiful and unplayable because the ball was bouncing around too much. You thought it's the best kind of, pace bowling you'll see until Jasprit Bumrah came and did what he did. So I think what Bumrah came and so it just feels so good as an Indian fan that an Indian pace bowler is showing the Aussies how it's done.
Yeah.
It's just the
in
best.
their home ground.
In their home ground.
I mean, it's every day as an Indian, you wake up, you pray to the Lord that we're so grateful for Bumrah.
100%.
That he
He's a
plays
treasure.
for our country. Because I can just imagine what if he was in some other team.
No, he's a treasure. Like
being a nightmare for our batsmen. It just scares.
The consistency he's had. And I just feel everyone knows cricket is a batter-friendly game, but you have to celebrate Jasprit Bumrah more. Like he's a proper national treasure, and what he's been doing for Indian cricket. So,
Saiyami, take 2 minutes. Let this be a Jasprit Bumrah appreciation moment. Take 2 minutes. This is all yours. Go for it.
No, Jasprit Bumrah, like I said, is an absolute national treasure. I am a 90s kid, so I've grown up watching the Big Five. And if Jasprit Bumrah was in that team, what that team would have achieved would have been an unplayable team. Because he is someone who is so non-dramatic. He's very dramatic with his bowling, but he's so non-dramatic he just comes, does his thing with that little 5-step run up. How he generates that pace, I have absolutely no idea. So much has been spoken about his technique, how it's going to come onto his back, and he's just defying all odds because he comes quietly, does his things. There's no shusha, no drama. He just consistently comes and is a nightmare for the opposing batters. And he's just, like there's so much you can. 2 minutes is too little to talk about him.
Take 5 minutes.
But it's
Take
just
10 minutes,
that
go for
he
it.
sets it up so well. He sets it up all so well that you don't know the ball coming in because the batters are waiting. It's going to go
Right.
go out. And then he suddenly sets it up for the one coming in so well. And of course his Yorkers, yeah. Like we've
damn.
seen it in the IPL. We've seen what his Yorkers do in the IPL. But he is just, I don't know how he has that kind of consistency. So a story I had heard about Jasprit Bumrah was when he was like 8-9 years old, he didn't want to wake up his mother. His mother used to be sleeping. So he used to tape up a ball and on a wall, like the ledge of the edge of the wall, he used to keep bowling it there so it didn't bounce. And that's how he started practicing his
What are you saying?
accuracy as a kid. So he said, I just didn't want to wake my mother up, so I couldn't bounce the ball, and he used to keep bowling it into that. So I thought that was quite a
Damn.
phenomenal story.
Even with his action,
Yeah.
I think he's mentioned in a couple of interviews that his mother is a school principal
Yes.
in the same school that he was studying at. And the fact that he has that action is because he used to bowl at this narrow sort of a gallery at his house.
Oh.
And because that gallery was so narrow, he couldn't like free his arms and go like this pura. Which is why he has just this and
Yes.
this and this.
So we know
And that's
all
how-
the credit goes to his mother. The Yorkers, that action which you can't decipher.
Thank God Auntie didn't
Yes.
want to get up.
And thank
Otherwise-
God he did not listen to the books and the manuals to change what he was blessed with.
But a lot of, Saiyami, I want to talk about this, a lot of coaches primarily, they're like, हम इनको batsman बनाएंगे,
हाँ,
हम
वो
इनको
तो
bowler
है.
बनाएंगे. You are not a traditional batsman, you're not a traditional bowler. In this time and age, who is a traditional batsman and a bowler?
Yeah,
I
even
mean,
Rishabh यार again
अब
against
देखो
Pat
उस-
Cummins वो ऐसे गिर के सो के कैसे मारते पता नहीं, but it goes across
you
the
see
boundary
this
line.
match?
Yeah. This match, that scoop 6, he fell down and he hit Pat
क्या
Cummins
है?
for a 6.
What
Yeah.
format is he playing?
No, it's just I feel it reminds me a lot of Virendra Sehwag because even Viru in test matches was just so lethal. He used to come and destroy, completely derail the bowling. And I feel, again, to get the amount of centuries gotten overseas time and again, when Pant comes, you just don't know what you can expect. He's so unpredictable.
And even the fact that, he got us the Gabba Test
Yes.
match and everything. And even now, like, I'm sure he was around 22, 23 back then, or 21 probably. To win a Gabba Test match
Yes.
for India at 21 years old is just pure magic.
No, for me, that whole series when Ajinkya Rahane captained.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah, as 90s kids, you go back to the 2001 when VVS Lakshman, the follow-on, we won. So you go back to that being the series that you've grown up watching. But for me, this particular series outdid that series. Only being that they couldn't even gather 11 people to make it to the test match. It was
Yeah.
almost like, अच्छा, अब कल के लिए 11 कहाँ से ढूंढे? Because every game there was someone getting injured.
Right.
So by the time after 36 all out in Adelaide, then after that Ajinkya's century, but the Gabba Test we couldn't find 11 people.
Right,
So it was just
right.
like, okay, ठीक है now.
Yeah, I remember this because
Yeah.
Pant and Ashwin were the
Yes.
last two playing. And
Hanuman
winning
Vihari
it.
had
Hanuman
injured
Vihari.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, for me, that again, it was such a new team. It was such a young team with no experience really
Right.
whatsoever. So just to win in Australia against a very formidable team back then, I think it was, for me, one of my favorite series I've ever seen.
Even, we were talking about Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes.
We transcended towards
Yes.
Pant and Ashwin. But do you remember the spell? Of course, I remember the spell. World T20 final, 30 of 30.
Yes. of
Bumrah
course.
comes, knocks off, I think, Klaasen, if I'm not wrong. No, Klaasen was the last one to get out. But there's one batsman, he just knocked off the off stump And he
You're
does.
talking about the World Cup, no?
Yeah, World Cup
Yeah.
final, 30 of 30 needed.
And then of course the Surya Kumar catch.
That is, I
mean, everyone's heart was in their mouth because it was South Africa's game to win, and from nowhere we came and did what we did.
I'm sure everybody got up from their seats. I'm like, "ठीक है, this ये तो गया."
I'm not that person at all. Even the NatWest 326 when UVKF got it for us.
Yeah, you were at your
I
spot.
was at the screen. Like my dad said that, what are you wasting time, and see how disappointing. I said that you don't want to watch, please go out of the door. I'm sitting and watching.
Damn.
I'm that very dedicated fan saying that last ball tak kuch bhi ho sakta hai. So I do not get up from my seat.
Should people be scared watching a match with you?
I don't. So again, it's a funny story. I was like a kid. I started watching cricket when I was in the '99 World Cup. So the game's too close to my heart. So only by invite people were allowed to watch the game with me. So
what are you saying?
My cousin's sister was not allowed to watch the game because she didn't really like cricket and she was newly married. So I said, only your husband's allowed, you are not allowed inside the room, because we had just got a puppy and I love dogs. But I said that I have to focus on the game. Like, you can't come walk around in front of the TV. So I was obsessed. Like, I'm very picky with the people I watch sport with.
Saiyami, keep talking. Keep talking.
So be it cricket or be it tennis, when Federer used to play, I am very picky. Like, I'm a very calm person and I go with until Federer and Sachin come on screen.
Till this point.
Just till Federer, Sachin come.
Okay.
Till then I'm very calm and never get angry. I'm all calm. The minute I'm watching a Federer game and there's someone with me who'll start rooting for anyone on the opposite side, I am just like...
What was the name that came to you right now?
I was going to say Djokovic.
Go,
but I get trolled a lot for saying anti-Djokovic things, but I'm just a really hardcore Federer fan.
Being a Federer fan is absolutely fine.
I'm a big Federer fan. So every time I have someone else who's... Either I don't go to that person's house, to that friend's house, but kabhi kabar kya hota hai that they call some 2-3 friends. I have properly fought with people who I don't know also. I have properly fought with them, saying that, so I get aggressive only when there was Federer and Sachin. Now I'm a very calm person because unfortunately they're both done with the game.
So ऐसा नहीं है आपके साथ कि just because Sachin is out of the game now, like playing game now, you would not watch a sport at all. You're not that kind of a fan.
See, the passion that I used to watch it with, like I used to watch it with proper tears and like crying and of course breaking a TV or so. When
breaking a TV,
I haven't broken it, but like things have been thrown at the TV. I was very young.
This
not
is what story?
Money.
This is which story is this?
So anytime like the World Cup when he got out on 4 in the 2007 World Cup when McGrath got him out.
The top edge.
Yeah, the one which he went to. So
yeah,
like involuntarily things go at the TV, because you're watching it, you're just so angry. So involuntary things go at the TV.
I really want to watch a match with you now.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying that passion's gone now. Like that aggression's gone because my love for Federer and Sachin used to bring that out. Now I'm a very like lover of the game, watching it for the game and enjoying it, but that aggression and all has gone.
You've not found similar love for any other player?
It's very tough. Very tough, yeah.
No Virat Kohli, no Rohit Sharma.
I mean, not that level. So someone who's so loyal to Sachin and Federer, I think it's very tough to... I watch the game because of how great they are.
Yeah.
Be it Virat, be it Rohit, watching it for Jasprit Bumrah. Ajinkya is a good friend of mine, just wanting him to do well. But that crazy passion that used to be there while watching Sachin and Federer is very tough. It's like, life is so bland, yaar. ऐसे लग रहा है कि चल रही है जिंदगी and all since they've retired. I want to ask though, but you are a full Saurav Ganguly fan? It's a tricky question. Of course. You won't be allowed back in your state.
No, of course. Dada, full support, Dada. Well done. No, of course, like I know for a fact that whenever I've watched a match at Eden Gardens, and whenever Dada enters a stadium, it's like he owns the stadium, he owns the city, he owns the state. And every Bengali, very specifically, but every person in the stadium will just hoot for Dada. It is magic.
I've never witnessed that. Like, I've not watched the game in Eden Gardens. So, that's something which I've missed totally. I've heard so much.
You have to watch a match at Eden Gardens. Yeah. I watched, I can receive a lot of flack for this, but Eden Gardens over Wankhede. Sorry, I said it.
You said it, but then you are from... Kolkata, so you will have to have the loyalty.
But no, I've heard a lot of people speak volumes about Wankhede.
Yes.
They're like, you watch a match, आप Wankhede match देखो, आप Eden भूल जाओगे, आप चिन्नस्वामी भूल जाओगे. मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं नहीं भूल रहा, because watching a match at Eden's and especially that Mexican wave that goes on around the stadium, I have counted 32. Like when I've been
So you know,
at the
again,
stadium.
I'll get flagged for saying this, but I'm known to dig my own grave, so I'll say it. Is the 2011 World Cup.
Yeah.
I was in college and obviously not earning great. I was modeling, so I was earning money, but not earning great money. And I was furious because I am genuinely a cricket lover, but the culture that has happened, maybe because of the IPL, but the culture of Wankhede now is that there are only VIP passes. And there are like clubs get reserved passes and things like that. So for the World Cup, actual fans did not get tickets. That was a true story, because I went crazy looking for tickets during the World Cup. Then finally there was someone who obviously was selling a majorly marked up rate, and I had saved up like my college money and my modeling money, and they asked me for 1,80,000 rupees for a North Stand ticket.
What are you saying?
So I said that
2011.
So I said that this is Masters last. I mean, probably last.
Don't tell me.
So I said that I didn't blink an eyelid. I said that this is something I'm saving my money for. I'll do it. There's no problem. My mother said, "What's wrong with you? Like, do you have no value for money? Do you not understand?" So I said, "See, do you not understand that I'm earning money for this? Like, I want to earn money in life to watch live sport. So I'm saying if I'm doing this," so then she realized there's no point arguing. My father was like, yeah, go for it.
Damn, this is crazy.
It's your money.
You spent 1.8 lakhs in 2011 to watch Masters last match.
Because you never know, right? So I was so upset. Because my other college friends who were not modeling or who were not working, because in college you don't earn money.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah, just as crazy as I am. But the people watching it were there to do photos and selfies, and that's why the culture of the stadium, I feel, has dipped down because of this passes that are not going to true fans. So I feel that definitely has happened. There's no two ways about that. That definitely has happened.
But I genuinely applaud you for spending 1.8 lakhs for a ticket just to watch.
No, but it's the best memory, man.
Of course,
it's the best memory of my life. Followed maybe the same is I paid again at a lot of money.
Go for it. This is great. This is a great story. Go for it.
A lot of money to watch. It was a bucket list thing. I wanted to watch Roger Federer at Wimbledon. It was just something which I really wanted to do. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford the finals tickets, because the finals tickets are 14 lakhs for a pair, so that's 7 lakhs a ticket. When I went, it was when he won the Wimbledon 2017, it was 12 lakhs for the finals, and that's something I really couldn't afford because I had just finished college, and
Damn, that would have been a great story.
No, the story is still there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's there.
Sorry. Go on.
So I said that, ठीक है, इज्जत में जितने हैं, I spent 1.5 lakhs, so 3 lakhs for a pair, 1.5 lakhs to watch the 4th round, which is a Magic Monday.
Okay.
So I calculated, did all my things, saying Federer will play, and did all my understanding that he's going to play center court. So on Magic Monday, you get to see 4 games. That's changed since last year. So I got to watch Venus, I got to watch Andy Murray, then Federer, and one more women's game. And I said, okay, theek hai. I was the first one to enter and say I'm never going to come back here again, and I want to make the most of this day, blah blah blah, sab kuch hua. And thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to look into camera and say this, is that one of my best days in my life I owe to Rohan Bopanna, who of course has made India so proud. So we didn't know each other, and Mirzia had का trailer आया था या release हुई थी or something like that. So he had messaged saying I really liked it, and I had followed him on social media. So I told him that, hey, I'm coming, let's catch up. So I ended up meeting him that day when I was watching Federer, and he said, why don't you come watch my game the next day and stuff like that. So he said, we'll meet in this player lounge. So when I went to meet Rohan, Federer was sitting there with Steph Edberg, his dad, and I was like this, I was just fully shaking. and was trying to be cool and be all like, yeah. And I didn't. It was before the match, so Rohan was just like, I'll introduce you. I was like, no, I don't want to, distract him for anything, or
before
like
match,
before the match, let him be in the. If he loses, I'll curse myself only. So I didn't meet him, and then later I'm just like, what an idiot! Like, why would I not meet Federer? He came, he
you didn't get to meet
demolished
him later.
Dimitrov. He demolished Dimitrov. He was playing against Dimitrov the 4th round. And then later, after the game got over, I went back to look for Rohan, and Federer was right there, Nadal was right there, and I said, then Abhi to banta hai. So I just said, hello, congratulations, and like a very like, I'm so cool and all that. I took my photo with him. And cut to, I said, okay, this is the best day of my life. Federer's won. I've never probably coming back to Wimbledon. And then cut to, Rohan had called me for his match, and in his match and Federer's match collided the same time, and he had some one pass for Federer's game. So he very graciously said, okay, I understand you'd want to watch his match over my match, and because of that I could watch another game and watch Federer win again. And then I'd done my full rounds at Wimbledon and seen how things work. So in Henman Hilpe you can just like hang around and watch, and then they have a resale queue. So I just kind of found out everything. And finals ke din, I went and stood in the resale queue. So the game started at 2 p.m. I went at 9:30, the gates open. So I went at 9:30, used to the Bombay local. So sab bhag dod ke I reached the queue, and I was like some 8th in queue. The queue goes on for like 2,000-3,000 people. And there are some people who are rich, who have other priorities in life, who buy tickets and then don't show up for the finals. So they resell this ticket at Wimbledon for £10. Otherwise the ticket is 14 lakh of rupees. So I stood in queue. Within like 15-17 minutes the queue opened. I got a ticket at £10, which never happens.
£10?
Yeah, £10.
That's it.
And I got to see, and then Federer won the Wimbledon final in 2017. So I said that this was... So my mother said, if you had manifested so much of positivity and stuff in your career, maybe you would have, had an Oscar by now.
Tell me a little about Ironman. How did you prep for it? How does the prep look like? And congratulations, you're the first actress from our industry to get that, to achieve that feat. How does that training look like? How does the behind the scene look like? Give me like a pura insight into how does it entirely look like.
So for people who don't know, firstly, I've completed the Ironman 70.3, which is the half Ironman, because I get embarrassed myself when people say you run the Ironman. The Ironman, which is the full Ironman, is 3.4 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers cycling, and 42 kilometers running. So I've done half of it, which is 1.9 kilometers swimming, 90 kilometers cycling, 21 running. So for me, it's been on my bucket list since forever. Like I said, every year I try to keep some kind of goal to just keep myself going and, at least some direction. So I registered and I was going to do this in 2020, but COVID hit. So the race got cancelled, and obviously we couldn't do anything. So then mentally to get back to doing it, it's very difficult, because the race is just a celebration of your training. You have to really train very hard for it, because you can't just wake up and say you're going to, exercise for 8 continuous hours is what I was swimming, cycling and running.
Damn.
So you need to have a serious amount of training. So
but what did the training look like?
So the training, I basically all my life have done sport and have been heavily invested in sport. Last year, it will be 2 years this June. So 1.5 years ago, I had a bike accident in Italy on the cycle. My rib broke. I got like some 6 stitches. I said, film career to khatam, and like it was all very scary. After that, it took me a long time to recover, mentally also to get out of it. So almost 8 months I did no exercise, which has never happened in my life ever. So I was just very low and like in a very strange space. So I said, I have to get out of this, because 8 months is too long. So I signed up for an Ironman, saying that now I'll just straight dive into the deep sea. So I signed up for it, and then I trained Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 7 months of training from zero, because I was struggling to run even 2 kilometers.
Of course.
After such a long break. So training is obviously gradual. but usually a brick workout which is combines like either 2 or all 3 disciplines. So on Sunday, if I was not shooting, I used to kind of train for that. So on Sundays, if my friends used to say, hey, let's meet up and all that, so I used to say, yeah, but I'm training. They're like, haan, theek hai, to you call, because they know I'll wake up at 4 5 and all. But at least 6.5 hours used to go in training, because I had to swim 1.5 kilometers, cycle 60, run 10. So it's a lot of training.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I mean,
yeah. So your social life is zero. You cannot have a social life if you're doing an Ironman, because you have to sleep, you have to get your rest. So going out late nights is all it gets. So my friends were just like, what are you doing? Because they had not seen me for 6 months. And plus I was shooting for a film, and I do something with CrickBuzz for during the IPL and World Cup. So I was working there for whatever 9 hours a day. Then I used to train for 3 hours. Then I was shooting for Sunny Sir's film, where because sport is so much a part of my life, being on time is always something which comes to me. So I used to always, if I was told reach at 6, I used to be there at 6, which means I used to wake up at 3:30 and train for an hour and a half before shoot. So I used to train, because after shoot it's too tiring. We wrap by 6:37, you're back in the hotel by 8. Uske baad to train is too tiring. So I used to wake up at 3:30 to train.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well done.
But it definitely is the proudest moment of my life.
Yeah.
Finishing the race. Yeah.
Well done, Saiyami.
Thank you.
I want to come to IPL. Which is your favorite team?
Who's your captain though for KKR?
I don't know. I don't know. We're still waiting.
Yeah, because they have spent 23 on Venkatesh Iyer, and
I don't know
the auction. So I mean, the only captain I see is Ajinkya.
Baki, but who? I don't know.
So I'm very confused on KKR's captaincy.
Okay, I shouldn't be saying such questionable things, but I'm not a KKR fan. I am.
Don't know how you're going to get entry back home.
I like Dada. Yes. That sorts me. Dada and Didi best. That sorts me for all my time in Bengal. So who's your team? I'm a Rohit Sharma fan. So I would go with MI.
Yes.
Since I need entry in Mumbai also. But I genuinely love Rohit Sharma. Like the moment he wasn't the captain and the sort of baton got passed on to Hardik, I was bummed, not because it was given to Hardik. Yes. Hardik is also a brilliant captain in my opinion. He's a wonderful captain. But again, Mumbai is so used to seeing Rohit Sharma as a captain.
Absolutely.
And him winning 5 trophies for MI and, doing so much for the team and all of that, it sort of just, my heart just sank. Yaar, come on. Yeah. Like, MI without Rohit being captain, is it even possible? Yeah. Post-retirement, theek hai, obviously. But come on. Like, let's just, like, CSK without Dhoni as captain is weird. Correct. It is unbelievable. Yeah. Let's not. And Dhoni was also he gave his captaincy last year to Ruturaj. And I'm like, my bhai, kyun? Why? Like, so what would be your favorite team? Is it?
See, it's MI because of my loyalty to the master. Because
but now he's not playing.
No, he's not playing, but he's still in the dugout. Okay, that's my level of loyalty. And I'm a big Rohit Sharma fan.
Okay.
Because I feel Rohit is just the coolest and the most entertaining cricketer. With his press conferences are a stand-up. Yes, I have.
Okay.
I met him because we were both endorsing Adidas together at one point. So we had a few events, and very, very sweet, and he doesn't intend to be funny, but he is the funniest person that you can be around.
Give me a funny Rohit Sharma story.
Just see any of his post-match press conferences. Yeah.
No, with you.
No, with me, I haven't had any story. It's not a story. It's just the way he is. He's just so candid and has no filters. So which is great. So he will just say very non-political things, politically incorrect things without really, it doesn't matter to him.
क्योंकि वो नाम लेते ही नहीं ना.
He doesn't matter.
वो ये ना वो ना ये ना ये है. अभी ऐसे आप कैसे फंसोगे? क्योंकि आपने नाम लिया नहीं. I found it so funny when they won the World Cup. T20 World Cup, they are sitting with the Prime Minister. It is the most hilarious setup.
And
He is sitting near the Prime Minister. The entire
Yeah,
team,
yeah.
Virat, Yashasvi, ये
Yeah.
वो सब बैठे हैं. Prime Minister asked him a question. Rohit is like, हाँ सर तो वो ना बहुत ना ये था.
Yes.
And Virat is just like, he's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
begun
yeah,
with his story. And the entire team is laughing.
Yeah.
Like Shubman is laughing, Jadeja is laughing in his corner, Virat of
Yeah.
course is laughing, and Rohit, sir वो ना ये वो ऐसा bowler वो ऐसा किया ना मैं वो ना वैसा ही था. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, this is how he is. I feel this is how he is, and I think that's why he's loved so much in the team, because
Yeah.
he what you see is what you get. Like, there is no malice, there is no, he's not strategizing or any politics and all. He is exactly what he is. So we know the flowery language he uses behind,
Like-
which is caught at the stump mic.
Like?
No, all the galis that he keeps giving, because he's a full Bombaya fellow, so
Yeah.
he can't speak without certain adjectives before and after. So it's just that is who he is.
Yeah.
And he's so loved in the
Garden
team.
में
हाँ. So he is
So-
just so loved, yaar. So
Dot,
loved.
dot,
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep.
Even like when Sarfaraz was debuting his sort of first match, Sarfaraz wasn't wearing the helmet when he was at
Silly point.
Silly Point पे था, फिर extra cover पे था, I don't remember, but he was there, like he was up close. तो he's like, ज़्यादा hero मत बन.
I remember.
जा
I
helmet
remember.
मंगवा.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like, it's just so,
Yeah.
like it's so hilarious.
No, even the last game, Washi is looking at him after something, and he's like, "अरे मैं क्या सब मैं ही करूँ क्या?" And like he's from behind. It's just so entertaining.
He's like, मेरे को क्या देख रहा है?
हाँ, so entertaining, yeah. But again, I'm really hoping he has a good Border Gavaskar.
है ना?
Yeah, I
He's
really
back,
want him
so,
to.
But where does that leave Rahul?
No, he's definitely playing, especially after the last
Position.
game. Position wise,
6.
Yes, I think Ravi Shastri said that Rohit shouldn't open the Adelaide Test.
Okay.
He said that he shouldn't open because he's not had enough match practice. So I'll be curious. This is what Ravi Shastri said. So I'll be curious to see if they move Rohit around at all.
I don't think they
But
move
I don't
Rohit
think they
around.
will. I don't think
Rohit
they will.
and,
but then Rahul
Yashasvi
will come back to
6.
Jurel. Yeah, he'll come in place of Jurel.
Pant will keep.
Pant will keep. So he'll come basically take Jurel's spot. Is how I see it.
But Jurel?
He was so good in the practice
Yeah.
games. He just got really unlucky in one dismissal. I think he's a phenomenally talented bat. And Dinesh Karthik, who's a friend of mine, who I really admire. I think he is one of the most eloquent and articulate and very hungry commentators. I'm very upset that every time a nice guy retires, I feel bad. But he's moved on to now being behind the mic, and he does such a good job because
He's a great commentator.
he's so good. He's so insightful, and because he's so relevant and he's just played the game, that especially T20 cricket, he's just bang on there. We are on Crickbuzz together, so I just geek out when I'm with him because I just love listening to his insights. So,
But
so
again-
sorry. So DK was praising Dhruv Jurel a lot.
Okay. Haan. Which is why I
Yes.
thought Dinesh Karthik.
I don't know why I get it. Yeah, he was praising Dhruv Jurel a lot.
But again, like in terms of just the fact that Dhruv Jurel making his entry into the team, young lad,
Yes.
played for Rajasthan Royals, making his sort of spot in the test team, test squad again. I think it was a couple of matches ago that he scored some really good runs as well. I think I don't remember which team was it against. Was it?
Are you
Again,
talking about this series?
No,
He
no,
had
no,
a
no,
very
no,
good
not this series.
Practice game. He got some 86
last
and all.
series he also got he
Yeah,
saved
he's been
us
playing well. He's been playing very well.
in a particular test match. So he
New
really
Zealand
played
probably,
well.
no?
Probably
New
New Zealand,
Zealand,
yeah,
yeah.
probably New Zealand. Again, so my overarching theme was, and I wanted to ask you, of course, your captain is Hardik. I was going at Rohit, but your captain is Hardik for now. But again, what do you think of the IPL auction this year?
The IPL auction has just spent so much money. I was a bit confused because sometimes what happens is a lot of good players also come on day 2. But there was no money left for day 2 because they just spent all their money on day 1. So I know that there was Shreyas and Pant that teams were chasing and they really wanted. With MI especially, I feel we've got a very good, MI's got a solid team together. If you go to see, Santner's coming.
Bolt is back.
Bolt and Bumrah. I mean, it's the best company we know. Bolt's
But वही problem है वो on paper versus on ground is something that seems to be a little bit of a problem.
See, Namandir did very well. So I feel our middle order, there's Tilak who's been playing really well as well, and we've got Will Jacks.
Yeah.
So we saw that Akash Ambani got up and just like thank you sir and all that because you've let go of it's. I thought very silly to let go of Will Jacks. RCB's, I don't know why they did not retain him.
What does this leave RCB with?
Well,
Another
I hope
loss?
not heartbreak. I hope not
Another
heartbreak
heartbreak?
because it's been 17 years that they have waited. But I think maybe Virat coming back as captain that's what the rumor is. Maybe
Really?
adds the fire.
Is this a reveal?
I mean, I don't know, but
Achha,
that's what
okay.
I've been reading into. Is that he's the only captain option they have? So
Is Faf not playing? Faf is there in the
no,
squad.
he's not in the squad. No, He's
They've
not
let
in-
go of Faf.
I think they have. He's also 38 now, no? So I think they let go of him.
That is a different
because
story
yeah,
altogether.
that it is
Wo-
because it's a 3-year auction now. So
Yeah.
so I'm curious to see who's captaining RCB. I think MI has got a very, very balanced side. I feel I've always felt bad for Punjab because they just every year change so much, yaar. Every year they go and change so much. So you don't know. And I feel
KL I think is playing for Punjab.
yeah. And Gujarat, I think, has got a good team as well. They've got a nice mix of
What would be your top 3 picks?
my top 3 picks. I have to still study the teams well because
एक बार
there's so
मुंबई
much
को हटा देते
confusion.
हैं because they're excellent
Yeah.
on paper.
On paper, they're very good.
Ah.
I think Gujarat's very good. I think Hyderabad's got a very solid batting. Very, very solid batting. So
I think Travis and Abhishek Sharma
Yeah.
opening is just
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like
And then
I was
they've
watching the
got-
match last year का एक match.
हाँ.
6 over 125 पे
Yeah, yeah.
क्या what?
So they've got a really solid batting lineup, and they've got Bhuvi also. Na Hyderabad's got Bhuvi.
Yeah, I feel
think-
really bad for Bhuvi.
Yeah, I think it's
like
been
my
very
heart goes out to
underrated.
Bhuvi.
Yeah.
He's just like I used to watch his. I always get reminded of his debut
Yes.
against Pakistan T20 match. First ball in swinger off stump goes
It's
out of
just
the park.
after his injury, when his pace dropped a little,
Yeah.
I think that phase, he came back really strong, but I think post his injury, he was not welcomed so much by IPL teams post that injury that he had. But he's very underrated, very, very underrated.
But give me like 5 players and their most underrated shots.
Underrated shots.
Shots like of course we know Rohit and his pull.
Yeah.
We know Virat and his cover drive.
I feel Virat and his, that very VVS like flick is, I think, the cover drive's stunning, but that flick that he plays is just really spectacular. I have no idea how Surya Kumar Yadav does this wristy thing that he plays. Not the one on the
Six.
offside. On the offside which he plays, he just opens his wrists out. And it
Over
feels
point.
like overpoint. It feels like it's an edge, but it's not an edge because he keeps
Oh,
doing
yeah,
it time and
yeah,
again.
yeah.
That
I thought the uppercut.
no,
you're
not
saying
the uppercut we are
sixes.
used to seeing that.
Yeah.
We are used to him, the 360 playing that. But the flick, I don't know how it's possible to do what he does, because first time it happened, even I don't know who was on commentary, they were like, I think Sunny Gavaskar, he said, this was an edge. Then you look back, it's not an edge because
It's
he's
an
done that.
intentional
Yeah,
shot,
it's an
yeah.
intentional shot. Then he spoke about it, saying it's an intentional shot. Then I have to speak about Master, but for me, Master straight drive has been my happiness quotient for the longest time.
It's a photograph.
It's a
so it's
photograph,
when he did. I remember 2011 World Cup. I think it was Dale Steyn who was bowling it to him, or a Brett Lee. I'm not sure, but I think it was Dale Steyn. Comes in running as fast as he can. Dale Steyn peak. Sachin just does this and stays
there for the
for like
photos, yes.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It's just everything. It's balance. It's just how a cricketing shot should look and everything. So you said underrated shots.
Underrated 5 players. So
yeah.
you've mentioned
So VK's flick on the leg
flick.
side, Surya Kumar Yadav's
Offside,
over
over point.
the wristy over point. I would say Master's sweep. It's not spoken about enough, but he used the sweep very well.
Okay.
And the traditional sweep, no paddle, no
Yeah, of
the
course.
traditional sweep that nobody speaks about, but
Right.
he's used it very well against spinning conditions in many places, I feel. Then after that, it's not underrated, no? Rishabh's sleeping around shots. I don't know if they're
Is
underrated.
that what they call it now? The sleeping
No,
around
I just
shots?
think he's sleeping everyone and hitting them. I've just said that. It's not what they call it, but he sleeps and hits it, yeah.
It's a good name, no?
Yeah, sleeping around. So I would
If we
say
cut this without context, sleeping around shots, it's hilarious to watch.
But he
Saiyami Kher mentions sleeping around as the shot.
I think
Crick
it's a
Bus
good-
panelist.
But it's a good.
It's a good shot.
term.
It's a good name.
Good
It's a
term.
good name.
Yeah.
Term, yeah. No problem with sleeping around,
Yeah.
right? Shots.
Shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So Rishabh Pant.
How do you come back
4.
from there? Anyway, okay.
And one more we have to mention. Who's
Give me a bowler who's underrated, who's a great batsman. Don't name Ashwin. Ashwin is by default
I think
a great
Washington
batsman.
Sundar. I feel he's a very good bat.
Give me a tail ender who's a very good batsman. I have a name.
Tail ender who's
Yeah.
a very good bat.
Mohammad Shami.
Shami will be very
Shami has a century,
Yes.
and that innings is
Yes,
like
yes.
he's just smacking around.
No, I don't know if you watched Mohammad Siraj yesterday imitating Steve Smith. I'm going to
Yesterday?
say- yeah, in the nets he
Okay.
was playing and he's
No, I
imitating
didn't,
Steve
I didn't.
Smith. It was quite something like the Smith stance and imbalance that he has, and then it's very funny. So it's nice, ambitious tail ender.
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
like Steve Smith.
you mentioned that social media sort of overwhelms you. Is it necessary? And I mean it in the most literal sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it necessary for an actor to be on social and be on the top of their game on socials in terms of, hey, post this, hey, story dalo, hey, tag this, hey, do this? Is it necessary? Do producers or actors or directors in the fraternity want this out of an actor?
So right now, all my contracts with all the OTT platforms, I have things releasing with. I have something with Amazon, something with Hotstar. Contractually, they say these are the number of posts that you are
Obligated to do.
Obligated to do. So contractually,
What is the number like? Give me like an idea.
I mean, I think 10
Because
posts
we have no
was
idea.
something which my Hotstar contract or something said.
For that project.
For that project.
So 10 posts.
And some, I didn't even look into it, and some stories, because if it's a project, I want to talk about it. It's something that I've done. It's something I want people to watch. So it's something I want to talk about. But legally, they say that, okay, you have to post so much stuff. So when you speak about producers, yes, now it's coming into contracts that you have to talk about it.
Matlab, it's a part of the contract
It's a
now.
part of my contract. So I asked them, I said, what if I'm not on social media? So they said, no, but you are on social media.
Acha, dismissed.
No, like I am on social. They know I'm on social
No,
media.
but then
so I
what
said,
if
but what
you-
if I leave social media?
Yeah,
So
one
then
day you
they said,
decide,
"Haan,
nahi."
Yeah. So
In your whatever state
so
of
it's
mind.
a very grey thing of like, theek hai, like I think Amit when we were doing Breathe, Amit stopped social media for some time, then came back on and something like that. So it's not like you have to be there and stuff, but if you're on social media, these are the posts required from you. With regards to certain things I want to put out, which is the work I'm doing, even if it reaches a small audience that I have, I'm happy to do it. But when it comes to now, because it's all become such a monetary thing, social media, that the more you post, then that's the amount the algorithm pushes you here, pushes you there and all that. So it just becomes an obsessive thing of you need to keep posting to be relevant. So it's no longer what it was in the good old days where यार आज मुझे सचिन रिटायर कर रहे हैं तो उनके बारे में कुछ लिखना है, बस उतना पोस्ट करना है, and it reaches whoever my friends are. I liked it when it was that keep it simple, don't make everything so commercial. So now what has happened is social media teams say that, oh, you don't need to post at least, every day once you have to post, you have to do 3-4 stories for your algorithm to keep getting pushed around. But now I don't have anything to say today. Like, why should I post saying that, hey, morning, having my morning coffee?
You would not do that?
You.
You're
No.
not that kind of a person?
If I feel like doing it someday, that
Huh.
on my way to Deepak's podcast and I'll say. But I don't want
You
to.
did that today?
No, I didn't.
No,
do
you
it.
didn't feel like.
Yeah, no, I was
I'm
trying
just
to.
asking.
I was trying to find the route. I was
you were-
finding it on Google Map. So
Okay.
if I was free, I felt like doing it, I'd do it. But it can't become a compulsion that you wake up every morning and first thing is what I've done. That is what I've done. I'm not that person. I'm a very private person. So then the pressure of you've not done any post, any reel, because his reels also you need to keep posting. I'm not somebody who likes dancing to everything that releases, because I just find this whole thing of people going on holidays, instead of keeping your eyes open and absorbing what you are around, I was in Bali for some work, and instead of just looking around into the beauty of what you're seeing, there's just people dancing around everywhere. Yeah, like I'm just not understanding. Suddenly at airports you go, I get paps and it's all works hand in glove. But why are people suddenly dancing outside airports? Like I'm not understanding. Everywhere you go there are people just like, so then it becomes like, to be viral you need to keep doing certain things.
It's DID. It's basically
You know.
dance. It's Instagram dance. It's
Yeah,
just that.
that's
like,
what it is. So that's one thing. Then on social media, the more negative you speak, the more you track. So if you speak about something very sensible, for instance, I speak about I used to go and clean stuff with afros at Versova. I speak about, hey, nobody's interested. You immediately say something controversial and say that Hardik ko captain क्यों बनाया और ये है वो है, and something controversial that tracks.
But
So
how do you know this metric? Have you done something on your social?
I never do
intentionally?
it. That's why that's why I'm
But
not
who's-
viral.
But oh, okay.
Because I don't do any of this. But I see other content which is constantly being consumed or being shared. It's either negativity, it's either something controversial, or it's dancing around. Means there are so many talented singers who you will have no idea about. Because like I felt so nice seeing Ahilya in Sujit sir's film, because she's genuinely skilled with what she does, with the accents she does. So that's a genuine skill that she has worked on hard and she's put it out there, and now that's rewarded her into a film with Sujit sir, because she fit into the film. But then suddenly, just because you're a fashion influencer and icon and you have number of followers, and then now you're being cast for roles because of your number of followers, this whole thing I don't understand. Like that's what I don't get.
गुस्सा क्या है आपका इंडस्ट्री के प्रति? What is your
मुझे
angst?
गुस्सा आता ही नहीं है.
What is your angst? What is your fight against? Is there a fight?
No, I don't.
Is there something that you're irritated with?
I don't
in
get.
terms of the
I don't have
industry?
angst. I don't have this thing, because the
Come
more
on.
the more you keep it in, this is something that I was studying in Xavier's and I was very close knit. I majored in history, so we had made this history will remember us karke, this college book and all that, and gotten like our teachers to write about us, and all the students had written about each other. So my history professor, and it still stayed with me, he said, because I was modeling during that time, he said that in the midst of all the flashes, don't let yourself change. So I feel that the minute you have bitterness, the minute you have angst, the minute you have anger, the minute you have normal amount of jealousy, normal amount tak theek hai, but the minute you start letting this all get to you, you will be doomed in this industry, because there is so much negativity.
But मेरे को आप ये बताओ कि इंडस्ट्री में गलत क्या चल रहा है?
गलत क्या चल रहा है?
And please speak unfiltered.
No,
as unfiltered as you can.
unfortunately they know, okay, Nath knows, and they are very always worried about what I'll say. But गलत
यहाँ आपको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं. Nothing is getting censored. आप बोलने दो इनको. आप बोलो बिंदास.
नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से जो गलत हो रहा है कि जब मैं 8th स्टैंडर्ड जो भी 7th 8th स्कूल में थी, पहले तो मुझे फिल्में देखना अलाउड ही नहीं था. माई पेरेंट्स नेवर अलाउड मी टू वॉच फिल्म्स, बट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड वॉचिंग फिल्म्स, नाउ फॉर इंस्टेंस दिल चाहता है इज अ कॉलेज स्कूल फिल्म विच वी लव. I remember watching a film with my friends, going to the nice 20 rupee popcorn we used to get and go and watch it. We used to come out saying, yeah, what a nice film, let's all go to Goa. That was the reaction. Now, as of yesterday also, my same school friends who I've known for the last 25 years, they were just like, hey, people are saying Animal's going to make 200 crores or whatever. Oh, no, sorry, what is this film? Pushpa is going to make 200 crores. I said, how does it matter to your life? like everything. That's what I just don't get. Is right now films are being discussed as iski to opening ye hogi. You are an audience. How does it matter to your life whether it makes 10 rupees, whether it makes 10,000 crores? You are not putting money as a producer. You are just going there. Film अच्छी लगी फ्रेंड्स को बताओ, अच्छी नहीं लगी फ्रेंड्स को बताओ. ये डिस्कशन क्यों हो रहा है आजकल कि इतने ओपनिंग इतनी होगी फिर अभी 400 करोड़ 200
नहीं
करोड़
होनी चाहिए.
I don't think it's right at all. Why are we talking about? We should talk about a film. Does it move your heart? Do you cry when you watch it? Do you laugh when you watch a film? What does it make you feel once the film is over? What do you leave the film with? When I watched 12 Fail, it just made me feel. The film stayed with me the next day. I was not discussing how much money 12 Fail had made because it makes no difference to my life.
But sadly, that has become the talk of
And
the town.
the only discussion now is about how much money a film makes. Are you a producer on the film? You're not. My 16-year-old cousin is discussing that, oh, Pushpa ki sabse zyada opening hogi. And you're 16 years old. Firstly, like, if it's an adult film, you shouldn't even watch it. One. But,
yeah.
like, I'm not getting this whole money conversation. It really bothers me.
But is it, like, ठीक है बात हो रही है. Why does it bother you?
Because they're not talking about the cinema. They're not talking about the film.
But are they not talking about the film?
No, they're not. No, the discussion.
It is just the box office collection.
You see social media. When I came, I was on Twitter. The whole discussion that kept. I had to post something for our film, which is releasing tomorrow as well. So the whole discussion is opening, number of tickets sold, and like that is all the discussion is. Usually when a film used to release, you used to have an audio launch, just talk about the music. Are you liking the music? Are you not liking the music? Like there used to be discussion around the creative aspects of a film, which I don't see
That has
happening.
gone missing
it's
now.
Totally gone missing.
I was attending an event yesterday, and I don't want to name the person who said it.
So much for being unfiltered. Yeah.
मेरा पूरा शो कैंसिल हो जाएगा सायमी. डू यू वांट दैट?
मेरा पूरा करियर कैंसिल होता है.
नहीं होगा वो कंट्रोल तो हमारे पास है ना. मेरा अगर मैं कंट्रोल करा तो फिर तो एनीवे. सो जयदीप मेंशन्ड
cut and edit.
No, Jaydeep Alawat was there and he sort of mentioned that
I love his work.
है ना, like I was blown listening to him yesterday, first of all. Secondly, I think he mentioned कि लोग ज़्यादा पूरी की पूरी भारत की जनता, पूरी की पूरी भारत की आवाम इस चीज़ पे प्रेशर डाल रही है कि हम सिनेमा कैसे बना रहे हैं. 140 करोड़ की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सिर्फ सिनेमा पे नहीं है. लेट्स फेस इट. ठीक है. देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट इज सॉर्ट ऑफ happening in the world, specifically in the country, that is wrong. A lot of apparently the talk is ki, oh, does cinema have the influence to change this? Of course influence hai. Certain influence to hai hi. But if you put the entire pressure on just cinema as a medium of expression, then I'm sorry, the industry can't take the pressure of 140 crore Indians. And that was so beautifully put. He said that cinema, albeit their influence and their network and the reach and the distribution कि हाँ ठीक है, अगर एक पिक्चर रिलीज होती है, अगर एक मेन स्ट्रीम मूवी रिलीज होती है, तो of course it reaches whole of India, the remotest corners of the country, right? But does it have to influence all the time, and is it the only medium to influence? And I saw unanimous agreement. I'm like, ये तो सब agree कर रहे हैं. So I just feel the talk of the town now is shifting from the kind of movies that is being made, the creative freedom to make films, to now being discussed just box office collections, and B, the pressure on Bollywood as a medium to bring change, as the only medium to bring change. कि नहीं यार Bollywood है, reach है, industry है, ये है वो है, तो वो कर लेगी. And I think it's a little unfair. What's your take? How do you see this entire sort of conversation happening on the internet?
So again, fortunately, unfortunately, maybe because the way I've been brought up, I find myself a bit too idealistic in many ways. So the great line of with great power comes great responsibility, Spider-Man said.
Right.
So I agree with the line, with great power comes great responsibility. And I'm not saying that you are setting out to make a film because you want to influence people. That's not why you make cinema. A director, an actor, firstly has to stop taking himself so seriously, because he is just a puppet of the imagination of what a director is. He's a part of a vision of what a director wants to say. So you're a part of the ocean, you are not the ocean. So I feel if a director wants to, and then you, if you agree with his vision, then you say yes to the film. If you don't agree with his vision, say no to the film. As simple as that. So if a director sets out saying ये हम बनाएंगे ताकि लोग कहें कि आज से हम इस राह पर चलेंगे, and you know, that's not why you set out to make a film. You set out to make a film because you want to tell a certain story which you truly believe in. Now whether that resonates or doesn't resonate, whether it's going to make money, not make money, that's not the concern. This is a story you want to tell, you believe in this story, so you tell it. So when I talk about power and responsibility, I feel that every human should be righteous enough to I'm not saying you can't have villains, you can't have bad men, you can't have, like, you have to show different aspects in cinema, but I feel that I genuinely feel that cinema does, it has influenced me. It has genuinely influenced me. When Rang De Basanti came out, my sister and I and some friends, we started this campaign called Jago Jagao. We were in school and college, and she was in college, to clean trains after seeing Rang De Basanti. When $1 Million Baby, when I watched it, I was truly inspired by the film to become better, become stronger. When I watched The Karate Kid, I was truly inspired. So there are certain films which gave me a sense of patriotism, gave me a sense of inspiration, or certain films which taught me a lot about relationships. For instance, like when I watch Anand, it's for me a film which has taught me a lot. When they say that Babu Moshai, and that whole dialogue, they talk about ये इस पल में जीना चाहिए,
जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए,
बड़ी लंबी नहीं होनी चाहिए. So it philosophically has taught me a lot. So I am that kind of a person. So for me, it's very, I'm not saying that the pressure should be on the film industry to make and change and be the pioneers and all. They are entertainers. So in your entertainment, if you can, if it does happen that you influence people in a good way, well and good. But we need to be a little responsible, I feel, with not showing heroism in a certain way, which has become a trend, I feel. That it's become cool to be nasty, be violent. I feel that kind of has become the norm now. All the films we are seeing is very, very all macho. And
what example do you have in mind right now when you're talking about this film?
What example? A lot of the films that have been coming out, I feel, of recent. I haven't watched Pushpa 2, so I can't talk about it. I'm a full person for entertaining films. Like, I genuinely, like, when I watched Jawan and I saw Pathan, and I saw Shah Rukh Khan after 5 years, I was whistling and hooting, and I want to see Hrithik Roshan in war with 6 packs and doing, like, I'm a full sucker for mainstream cinema. But I'm somebody who feels that there's a thin line as makers, as creators, which you should keep in mind while making cinema.
But मेरे को आप एक बात बताओ Saiyami, and I want to be very 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 open and talk about this. Animal जैसी पिक्चर बननी चाहिए कि नहीं बननी चाहिए?
See, it's not, we can't be...
Disclaimer, I haven't watched Animal.
Okay.
I watched snippets of the film. And again, it's gory. It is... I am running out of adjectives for the film. I don't know what the storyline is, so I'm no one to comment on that. But just the fact that it's heinous and the way it depicts violence and abuse, it's just wrong in its purely moral and ethical sense. But एक एनिमल जैसे पिक्चर बननी चाहिए कि नहीं बननी चाहिए?
नहीं, it is, you have all the freedom, like who are you and I to tell someone what kind of story you should tell?
No, but as a stakeholder,
as a maker, by all means make all kind of cinema you want. As a maker, you should have the free. I'm not a very pro censorship person, so you, as a maker, you should be able to make exactly what you want. You believe in the story and you feel this is morally correct and your moral says correct, by all means go for it. I wouldn't want to be a part of a film like that. So I
But
was
as
very
a
disturbed.
stakeholder,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
I was
You
very
were-
disturbed by the film. I watched the film, didn't finish the film, but whatever I saw of it, I was very disturbed because maybe I was not in that space of mind to the way women were treated in the film. It's suddenly become cool to, you know, you're showing the macho man treating his wife like that. I was disturbed by the film. So whether you should make it or not, by all means make it. Whether you want to be a part of it or not is your choice.
Again-
Whether as an audience you want to go and watch it is your choice.
अंडरस्टैंडेबल बट मैं जेन्युइनली ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ एज अ स्टेक होल्डर, एज एन इक्वल स्टेक होल्डर, एक एक्टर, डायरेक्टर, राइटर, प्रोड्यूसर एंड ऑडियंस मेंबर, ऑल ऑफ देम आई फील आर इक्वल स्टेक होल्डर्स इन टू मेकिंग अ फिल्म वर्क. ठीक है, इन मोस्ट केसेस. ठीक है, एक राइटर लिखता है, वो विजन डायरेक्टर लेके आगे बढ़ता है, वो विजन है जो एक्टर फुलफिल करता है, एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स ऑल ऑफ इट is in place. Even then the audience might not sort of like it or whatever. It's a different story altogether, but more or less these are the stakeholders of the entire industry. Now, as a stakeholder, as a part stakeholder, do you feel, what is your opinion in terms of the film, whether it should be made or not? I'm sure you have an opinion on it.
No,
or
I'm,
or
I-
you
no,
you
I'm
will
saying by
be
all
a
means
part
make
or
it.
not, that's a different
See,
story.
I'm doing a film right now which is a very violent film, which I'm
Okay.
a part of a very violent film. I don't have a problem with violence, like with goriness and violence. Per se, I don't have, like, we've seen so many films, Hitchcock films, we have seen so, like, Anurag Kashyap films, they are dark films, they are very dark films. But I feel that what right and wrong is, you should maintain what the right and wrong is.
Again,
like when the
वही-
bad man does something, the bad man should be punished for it. It's as, for me, it's always that the
बट
bad
फिर वो
man gets
इन्फ्लुएंस भी तो
punished.
कर रहा है. जैसे हमने बात किया कि, एंड आई एम नॉट जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट एनिमल, लेट्स
Yeah.
जस्ट टे एनी अदर फिल्म विच इज हाईली मिसोजिनिस्टिक, हाईली अब्यूज सेंट्रिक फिल्म,
नहीं,
दैट
पर
सॉर्ट ऑफ
इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है, पर बाद में अगर उसे उसके लिए पनिशमेंट मिलती है, देन इट्स नॉट, लाइक फॉर इंस्टेंस यू शो अ रेपिस्ट ऑन which there is, you are seeing what happens, but then you're showing that this person has been put on फांसी.
बट तो आप
I'm
वही
saying-
बोल रहे हो कि अगर एक प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट दिखाया जा रहा है एक सिनेमा में,
The resolution should be that the person
इन द सेम फिल्म ओनली एंड
Yeah,
नॉट
yeah.
डायरेक्टली कि नहीं मैंने, हम बाद में आके
नहीं,
प्रेस
the
कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं और
resolution
बोल
should be
रहे
in
हैं
that
कि
film only, that this person has committed a heinous crime. So don't glorify the bad
Violence,
guy. Is
yeah.
what my thing is. Is I am totally fine to be a part of a film where I've been abused or I've been whatever, but then it should come around that the guy gets punished in this, like the resolution should be that this is wrong, you can't do this. You know, the resolution should be found in the film.
fair. And what kind of films are you saying no to? What's the metric to say no?
I'm not saying no to too many films.
Okay.
From the offers that I get, there are certain films I'll say no to if the story doesn't really move forward in any way. With my character doesn't move the story forward in a certain way. There were few shows which were offered to me where I felt that the girl was just used as object of glorification and nothing more. So I said no to those 2 shows that had come my way.
What is your moral standing in terms of कि मेरे को ये फिल्म नहीं करनी because ये है, और मेरे को, what is your ethical standing there?
So for me, I have been fortunately, I think you attract stuff that has the same wavelength. Maybe that's become my comfort zone. So the film I'm doing right now is totally out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Because it's a proper massy commercial, the same Pushpa producers are producing it. So it's as massy commercial as it can get. My character in it is a very righteous person who's standing for the right and fighting for the right. So it works for me because I am here fighting against the evil in the film. So moralistically, it just works for me. I'm very keen to play a serial killer and be a violent somebody. There was a show which was offered to me. I was very excited to do it because I was playing like this psychopath serial killer,
Okay.
which I have no problem with, because in the end of that show, I am imprisoned. You know, so it's totally fine. I would love to play that side and play a negative shade. I'd love to play a negative shade character. So pretty much saying no to things where it just only objectification of the woman.
Would you say yes to a project if it has or if it is paying good money, but it goes beyond your ethics and morals?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Thankfully for me, I've saved up enough money to go and watch the live sport I want to do.
Would this be irrespective of the position that you're in right now?
Yeah, whichever, wherever
So if you were, say, hypothetically, you're just beginning your career, your savings are at an absolute minimum,
Yes.
Because you've not done a lot of work in the industry, would your morals or ethics still come in front of you?
They would.
Considering
Yeah.
it's good pay.
Yeah, they would. Because the money, I'm never in it for the money. I didn't get into this to...
Brilliant. आ
Money
जाओ.
has been
क्यों?
a byproduct, no?
फिर क्यों कर रहे हो?
I genuinely
ये
love
ही
acting.
क्यों कर रहे हो फिर?
I genuinely love acting. I can't imagine my life without it because I'm a very reserved person in life. So for me, acting has been very therapeutic, and it's been able to make me a better person. I act not the money is a byproduct of I did a film with Mr. Anurag Kashyap. I really love his work. I said that don't pay me any money. I did it for no money. So
What are you saying?
yeah,
Which film is this?
Choked. I did a film with him called Choked.
Choked.
Yeah. So he said that no, I want to pay your token. So I said, if you want to pay, don't pay. It doesn't matter because I want to work with you. I really like the story. It's going to challenge me as an actor. So it's fine. So money is, if it comes, everyone loves money. I love money. There's no two ways
Of
about
course.
it. When Wimbledon final har saal dekhne jaungi main. But it's not the end all for me.
Purpose क्या है?
I
फिल्मों
really
में होने
love
का?
being in front of camera. I love being in front of camera. It's my happiest space. Or I realized the power of films after my last film, Ghumar, where I realized how it does influence people in a big way. Where I had para athletes coming and touching my feet and saying that you don't know what you've done for us and what nobody wants to tell a story as authentically as you all have told it. And then like young 19-year-old girls coming and saying that it's just the power, the limited reach it had, the response, like 45-year-old women, men coming and like crying and saying that so I realized the power that cinema can have. So I would like to be remembered by stories like when you said Jaideep sir. I loved three of us, Swanand, Shefali ma'am and Jaideep sir did a film last year. So it's a story which, there are so many stories which need to be told. Like we are doing Agni, we are promoting it and we keep saying it in all our interviews, but the truth is we have not made a film on firefighters in India before.
True.
So even though it's an ensemble and I have a small part to play in it, I'm very happy to be a part of the film because it's a film I'm very proud of. Like we are celebrating people who we don't care about, and agar there's a short circuit in your AC today, they'll come and save us. But we wouldn't. 2611, the amount of people they saved, but do they know the names of these people who saved them? No. We know like the three martyrs we keep talking about, the big cops that unfortunately passed away, but so many firefighters passed away. So I'm very proud to be a part of this film, very proud to have done a film called Ghumar, where thankfully it wanted to make people, like I was inspired by $1 Million Baby. I did a film called 8 AM Metro with Gulshan, which I'm very proud of because it spoke about mental health. So again, like every day our inbox, Gulshan and I keep talking about the impact it's had, like people talking about how they had suicidal thoughts and they watched this film and they've gone and asked for help. So if it can save a human being's life, if that's what cinema can do, then I'd love to be a part of such films.
But Saiyami, मेरे को बताओ आपका political conflict क्या है पिक्चरों को लेके? In terms of again morally correctness, political correctness is अपनी जगह पे है. Would you do a film just for the money?
I haven't so far.
And have you?
No, I haven't done it so far. And
कि नहीं स्क्रिप्ट में मजा नहीं आ रहा,
हाँ.
स्टोरी भी ओके है, बट भाई इससे 10 विंबलडन देख लूंगी मैं. मतलब इज इट दैट?
पैसों के लिए नहीं होती बात, पर कई बार कैसे होता है दैट यू डू सर्टेन रोल्स. व्हेन आई ऑलवेज गो टू लाइक राकेश सर, नाउ बाल्की सर एंड अनुराग, and say that this is what has come to me, and they give me very correct advice where they say that this film will have a very big reach. It's not about how much money I'm getting. They're saying you will have as an actor, you need your audience to keep expanding, because your audience expands, you become more relevant in people, you get more work. It's just all a cycle. So there have been certain projects which I did basis advice I've gotten from people whose advice I take very seriously, but they said, you're not getting work right now because your debut film didn't make money, so do this work only to increase your audience. And every film I have done, every single film I have done, I have learned a lot. Not necessarily in front of camera, a lot out of camera as well. So for me, every film has taught me a lot. And again, this is something that Akshay sir had said, that bas kaam karte jao, because it just keeps making you grow as an actor. It's as an actor, you learn on the job in many ways. And if you're not learning in front of camera, you're definitely learning just
behind
life
the camera.
skills behind camera.
Your film is coming out as of now. We're recording this on 5th of December. Film is coming out tomorrow, which is 6th of December. Anything that you'd like our audience to know about the film on that camera?
Well, Agni is releasing on the 6th of December. It is releasing on Amazon Prime. Has been directed by Rahul Dholakia, who's coming after Rais, and he's a wonderful director and wonderful human being. And it just got a bunch of very interesting ensemble cast. Again, great people: Pratik Gandhi, Divyendu, Sahita Mankar, Jeetu, Udit Arora, and myself. And it's an ode to firefighters. So I feel that it's very shameful that we know so little about the fire department, and it's just a film that we want to celebrate. So hope you all watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. You all can watch it, not 6th, 7th, 8th, but dekh lo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Saiyami, for being a part of the show. Last outro sake, we ask our guest to ask me one question, and then we wrap it up. So if you have any question for me, go for it.
Who's the IPL final going to be? Because now this we'll put a poll and say you were wrong and do all that.
My social media team versus your social media team. All right. I really don't want to see MI and CSK. Okay, let's just be out.
You just said you're an MI fan.
No, I don't want to see. Matlab, theek hai, as much of an MI fan
but
I am.
Last Dhoni, they're saying last hoga to.
यार सायमी डोंट ये मत करो ना फिर अब मेरे को लास्ट धोनी खेलो मतलब 16 मैच खेलो 16 के 16 मत जीतो बिकॉज देन बाय डिफॉल्ट यू आर इन द फाइनल्स
देन मैं पल दो पल का शायर वो सब पूरा
वो आके फिर गाओ ना प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आके मैं दो पल का शायर कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है उसमें but just to break the monotony I really want to see Hyderabad in the finals once and for all.
RCB fans are listening to what you have to say.
Hyderabad and RCB. Let's go. If RCB fans are listening, SRH versus RCB. But like, it's a dream if RCB plays the final and wins, which is again, मैं plays बोलने वाला था, but then मैंने कहा खेले तो है ही. 2016 was a dream run for them. 973 runs for Kohli. It's I mean madness.
Couldn't have asked for anything. It's just that one last game, of course. And उसमें भी hope था कि because De Villiers was playing. Yes.
So it's like थोड़ा सा और खेल लो.
On paper they've had everything going their way. So let's see now.
They've had so many
all the star players they've had. All star players from UV, Chris Gale, AB, everyone, VK. So you are saying RCB versus Hyderabad.
What's your take?
But this was the last segment. I had to ask you.
My show, my rules. Please tell me your final.
I'm going to say MI versus GT.
Why so?
Because on paper, I think they're both solid teams. And I think MI
RCB fans are listening. All right then. Thank you so much, Saiyami, for being a part of the show. Your outro on that channel. Like, share, subscribe करने बोल देना. But उससे पहले, how did you feel being a part of the show? Anything raw, unfiltered, candid, जैसा भी आपको जो भी लगा on that camera?
Well, I didn't think I was on a show. There was a mic in front of me. I didn't know when we started. So it was just us chatting and it felt wonderful. So thank you so much for having me over.
All right. Like, share, subscribe करने बोल दो. मेरी बात सुनते नहीं है लोग.
तो बस क्या कहना है कि ये
Deepak Pareek is my channel's name.
But so the Chill Hour.
The Chill Hour is the podcast name. So it goes live on my channel as Deepak Pareek.
Okay.
So just tell people to subscribe to that.
To Deepak Pareek, not the Chill Hour.
दोनों बोल दो आप.
Okay. Alright guys, you all have heard it. I think we have some really nice conversations. So like, subscribe करो Deepak Pareek के podcast को The Chill Hour. एक कुछ भूल गई ना like subscribe share भी करना है sorry please like share and subscribe to the Deepak Pareek podcast and watch us on the Chill Hour.
Was it very different from the interviews you've done before?
You know, it was a really nice chat, yeah. It was, I mean, obviously very different from the monotonous. How did you prep for
What
your
is
role?
boring?
And
मेरे को खत्म करना है, but I really want to ask this. What is boring in other interviews?
no, boring is usually when we have film promotions, we have like 20 interviews lined up the same day. So the questions a lot of times the journalists ask are like they're looking in their phone and they have to just tick mark these questions. So how do you prep for your role? What mischief did you have? What fun incident happened on set? How was it working with your actor?
ये 4 question.
Yeah, ये तो and 20 times and you have to say it the same way. So that
But
gets
you're
a
an
bit-
actor, so you.
No, you say it.
so
Yeah, you say
do
it with a big smile on your face and. Yeah.
But they
That's
can't
your job.
read that कि ये तो सवाल मतलब, but they have to do it on
They
their
have
channel.
to do it on their channel. I guess that's their mandate and that's how. Maybe it also comes from the production saying this is a film and you have to talk about the film. अब film के बारे में और क्या innovative वो सोचते नहीं है कैसे क्या पूछे.
ये आप बोल रहे हो कि वो नहीं सोचते.
Maybe some of
मैं
them make
पूछ
a
रहा
lot
हूँ.
of effort. Some of them, like I did an interview with NDTV which I loved right now, where she was so ashamed of not knowing anything about firefighters that she was very apologetic. Abhira it was, I think. She was very apologetic and kept saying that I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. She actually found out research karke ki so many people die and so many things, and she had really worked very hard on just wanting to know more about the film.
Right.
Or even during Ghumar, there was some very heartfelt interviews that I had with someone whose daughter had or son had a physical disability, and they spoke about very personal interview. So those are just always wonderful when you have some kind of personal connect to it. I feel.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll let you go with that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This episode will be out any of the Fridays that's coming in the coming week, mostly next Friday. But thank you so much for watching. We have a second channel called Deepak Pareek Clips, where we post short snippets from the main episode on that channel. So you'll find it somewhere here or here on the screen. Go subscribe to that as well. Tell us your most favorite part from that section. Since RCB fans are listening, I hope they make it to the finals and win it for one time, especially for our captain who might return back, Mr. Kohli. So that's that. We'll leave you with that last thought. But thank you so much for watching. See you next Friday, same time, 6 p.m. Thank you. Cheers.